All right. After 2 days of just thinking about it, relaxing, marinating, or just decompressing, and getting basic and not getting enough sleep because during that week I didn't get enough sleep because how jazzed I was, excited of being in Vegas, and from that first moment I stepped foot in Vegas, especially into the Tropicana, I was treated very awesomely and I was fully appreciative of how I was treated, um, and and being a representative of the Hilton, I wanted to be represent to the best of ability, and I did. Apparently, I did because, to the point where I was given or I was provided a suite instead of the room I booked. I did mention that it was my birthday as well, and they without any hesitation they offered me book me in the 20th floor suite, and she also said just explore. You're in Vegas, go splurge. I said sure, why not? And many of you saw the suite that I was set up in. It was awesome. I was able to just enjoy myself all throughout my week in that that suite, and it was spacious, very spacious, and I could words cannot describe how awesome the suite was, and I was able to just it was so roomy that I didn't know because there was so much space in there that I didn't know what to do at first. So, but I thoroughly enjoyed it, and I know after my parents saw it, they wanted to be part of that experience too, and as they want to enjoy their anniversary, wedding anniversary there next year. And so, since I work for the Hilton, I'm gonna probably have to make that happen for their anniversary. But in any case, um, that was pretty much day my Monday, my Monday as it, everything was worth getting being able to be booked in that suite after the traveling and the journey to get my to get to my rent a car, which was in a whole different area. But that's hard, neither here nor there when it comes to the rent a car experience. But overall, my Monday was awesome with the suite being booked. On the 20th floor, it was quite a trek from the front desk up to the 20th floor, but it was so worth it. Then we move on to Tuesday. Tuesday was Slotzilla. That was my main focus. It was like a objective on each day to do and accomplish what I wanted to do. And Tuesday was this Slotzilla in that Fremont Experience area. And I gotta say, when it comes to the Fremont area, it it's unexplainable sometimes for me even to really think about it. But it was an area where anything and everything can be seen, heard, and witnessed. Um, and I know that Elizabeth and Michael Holt were there along with James Conklin and Roberto Lozano, and they were there. And if you all went to the Fremont um, experience down there, you may have noticed African American gentleman, shirt off, or just wandering around aimlessly, with a far off look on his face, and just going from here to there, practically nowhere. And he was just aimlessly wandering from one side to another, to here to there to I don't know where he went, but every time um, I saw him, he was just darting back and forth to the point where he nearly got hit by a bus, and my head was a swivel. The moment I set foot in Vegas, I was Jason. I was like Jason Bourne, just being able to look from side to side, be highly aware of my surroundings, and I had one of those fanny packs that I was able to put my wallet in because I didn't want to put it in my back pocket. I didn't want to get someone stealing it and being able to take advantage of that. And so I put all my belongings that were important, like my wallet, in that fanny pack and just had it around me. And because of that, I was very wary of that individual just walking aimlessly in no direction, for that matter, into just up and down Fremont. And if Elizabeth and her husband or James or Richard saw this individual, you know what I'm talking about. He looked out of it and possibly able to just at any point just go off because there was a number of individuals in Fremont that I was very highly aware of and kept my eye on as best as could as I was waiting for Slotzilla. And as for many of you who saw my video concerning Slotzilla, you noticed that my glasses were off, and I wanted to keep my glasses on, but they want the person who was in charge of the ride said just keep them off, and put them in your bag. So I did, and fortunately, I was able to see a little bit to the point where I was able to recognize my surroundings and see, for the most part, what I was experiencing. But thankfully, I had the video package deal I got, and I was able to ride down. And let me tell you, I was. Let me tell you, I was able to ride down a bit. Wait, let me tell you, I was a bit nervous at first, but once I was zip lining down, my nerves were gone, and I just had fun, and you could tell my how fun it was just zip lining through the Fremont all the way down to the end, and that was enjoyable. And um, there were some interesting characters to say the least in Fremont. And one of those, like I said, one of those was that individual that was just roaming from one side to another, almost getting hit by a bus. And yeah, and many of you saw that video of the individual who was like hands, putting those boots in his hands, and and it was hot out there, and for him doing that, him sacrificing his own well-being in that heat, very commendable. I know that many of those were entertainers are just are there for the visitors, tourists like me, to give them money. But and speaking of those entertainers, I tried to avoid them as, especially those individuals, or showgirls or ladies, who walked down up and down trying to just entice you to take a picture and just basically corner you into giving you money. I tried to avoid that. I ended up just putting on my resting face, like just this scowl right here. People know this scowl. Many of my friends do, and just walk up and down. Just I didn't want to be bothered, and I just needed to kill time before my time to go down the Slotzilla. But all in all, that was it was fun, and I got the video and some pictures out of it. And then afterwards, I went to that Mega Mart, the Area 15. That was interesting to say the least, and I know James Conklin went there as well. I believe he did, but he mentioned that okay, he went there, and it was an experience to say the least. Like I said, and I went to just walked around. I saw some of those vintage video games, the arcade like Burger Time, and yeah, it was weird, but it was a fun weird. And and overall, Monday was awesome. And to cap off that day I had at Fremont, and the very eventful, weird situation of going to Area 15. I went to Max's, ate some Filipino food, the cuisine, adobo, fried rice, lumpia, and was able to bring it home and eat that for late night snack in my suite. And uh, Checked it down with some bottled water. Speaking of the bottled water, I actually left what was remaining in that case of bottled water in the suite. So whoever's in that suite now is enjoying some bottled water, unless the housekeeping took it. But oh well. I didn't want to take it with me on the plane, so I just left it there for anyone else who was going to enjoy the suite that I did. In any case, that was basically my Tuesday. Now on to Wednesday. That was this Speed Vegas day. Speed Vegas from 11 on to, let's say, 2 o'clock. I got there a bit early, so uh, I was able to just look around and check out all the the vehicles, especially the cars. Um, there were a lot of cars for these for drifting and racing around a track. I know there are I posted a picture of just of 3 Ferraris, but there were other cars in there as well. That if you're a car aficionado, you'll be salivating and just wanting more of those pictures. If I had the opportunity to, but I was there for the uh, off road experience in Speed Vegas. It wasn't just me. It was one other individual there who was from Australia. His name was Paul Firth, and we become Facebook friends because of that. And we both did the off road experience adventure. And being 2 guys, there was an unwritten rule for a bro code, being gentlemen about it. We recorded each other's um, from the outsider's point of view, on a track of going around. So we did that. I did that for him, and he did that for me. So that was one of the experiences that I will always enjoy, because of he's a good dude, and I was a good dude to him, because we helped out each other when it came to just recording from where they were our from each other's perspective. What we were doing out there was just jumping and going fast, and being able to obstacle all those courses, the outside courses. And afterwards, we went our separate ways, but we did be able to add each other on social media, Facebook. And what I learned from Paul was he is not only from Australia, but he is a avid fan of Formula One racing, and rather enjoys that. And I think he's said he'll be in Daytona, or going to Daytona for that Formula One racing, and also in Vegas again, cup upcoming. But Yeah, we'll try to. He said he wanted to see if I'll be able to go, but it depends on how I'll be able to work that out. I'm able to go, but we'll see. But he I sent out an invite, but it's pretty good. I'm not really a Formula One fan, but I've seen it on TV. It's kind of like NASCAR. It's like I'm not a big fan, but I've seen it on TV where I've watched. For some reason, I've do channel flipping, and all of a sudden I'm transfixed on just NASCARs going in and making a left turn. Yeah. But all overall, the that off-road experience with Paul and being able to just enjoy the road as bros and just uh, just jumping and just having fun and being able to share it with him in a way. It was an awesome experience. After he left, I ended up having to wait a little bit more to do my go kart experience. Two laps, two races to be exact. And as you saw from the video, I came in last, but I had fun nonetheless. And and then and then afterwards, I went back to the strip in order to just take a tour, especially in the hot sun, knowing that I just came from a place where it was just desert and just dirt, and I was practically under the hot sun for most of the day. I'm a little bit darker, if you can tell, but um, uh, when I started walking, I went from the MGM. I started from the MGM Grand, and was able to go. From what I remember, I walked from the ML Grand and went down the escalator, and then as I was walking, I made the mistake of wanting to take a picture of the of Grogu, baby Grogu, Thor, and Spider Man. What I shouldn't have done that because afterwards they were trying to get money from me, and they were hassling me to give me compensate them for basically being street performers and performing under the hot sun for me. And I tried to make some kind of excuse and saying I'll come back later. I'll pay you that when I come back. But they actually stopped me, and as I recall, they tried to keep me from leaving. And that's when I just said I didn't want to get hassled, so I just gave him $20 and left. And I was able to just keep going until I got to Planet Hollywood, or in some area around that area, um, and and just find someplace to eat. And what I ended up eating at was the Jungle Cafe. And unfortunately, I got the chicken and ribs combo, and that was a mistake right there because because I afterwards I felt full, and and that combined with the hot sun and me being stupid just on that day it was hot, and I basically started making the stupid decision to keep walking and go make my way up and then go to Treasure Island, then back down and the take the tram there to in order to get back to my hotel, go all the way around. But I needed to take a break first because of the heat. So I basically just ended up ducking into the where the that big that area where the big Ferris wheel is, and I sat there for a couple of minutes, or 10 minutes or 20, I don't remember, but I sat there for quite a while just to get out of the heat, and it was quite some time too, because I don't know how long I was walking, but my feet were hurting, and I yeah I was just sweating profusely. I think I lost weight just walking everywhere that day, and from one end of the strip to the other. And after getting some fluids in me, water, and I was able to just watch a bit of a Braves game. And I don't know who they were playing, but it was a good game. I think the Braves won, but go Braves. But anyways, after sitting in the hotel or hotel lobby or in the bar area, just drinking some water, was able to get go all the way where the Venetian is, and then cut across to the Treasure Island. And while in there, I wanted to do some reconnaissance and to see where exactly was the Avengers tour. So I was able to locate it, and afterwards I just basically went for the tram. Unfortunately, the tram ended up just going to the Mirage, and then the Mirage, from the Mirage I had to walk all the way back to from the Mirage all the way to Aria, or was it the Bellagio? It's either, I think it was the Bellagio, in which it took me a while to get to the tram that was able to take me from the there to Aria or to the Park MGM Grand. And by the time I got back um, to to my to the Tropicana, I was dead tired. I didn't want to shower, but I had to, and it was tough for me to keep myself standing because my feet hurt, and but being able to shower felt soothing, and after that I zonked out. I don't know. I woke up around 10 o'clock after that, and but that was my Wednesday, all in the heat. And so yeah, that was pretty much my Wednesday. This 24 hours of almost 24 hours of just heat, and thankfully I was able to just cool off after with that nice cool shower and some good food from that Jungle Cafe to tide me over at a late night. So that was my Wednesday, and moving on to Thursday. It was Sky Combat Ace, scheduled for 11 o'clock, and I didn't take anything with me up in the air. I only wore my hat, my watch, and my ring, dragon ring. I had my wallet in my pocket, but I left my bag with my wallet in it and my phone. So that was securely safe down on the ground as I was up in the air. But beforehand, I was in the hangar. They brought me to the hangar, showed me the planes, the stunt planes, and as they were putting the parachute on me, and something occurred to me, and that while I was sitting there listening to him go over their instructions, there was a pot there. There it came to the point where I was thinking during the instructions that he was giving me that there might be a possibility that this plane might not work or end up to the point where I had to jump. And he told me that if the plane ends up not end up working, or they need to be bailing out, he told me to do the following thing and basically unstrap myself, but don't unstrap your parachute. That's a bad thing, and that rolled in that kept repeating in my mind. Don't unstrap yourself from the parachute that's securely fastened onto you. Just the harness that's keeping you on in the seat, and that kept rolling in my mind. And then the other thing he said, that if you're looking for me for help, the pilot, his name is Ian. His nickname is Tectonic, and like I said, if I recall him saying this to my face, to very vividly. He basically said, if we're at a point where the plane doesn't work, we're bailing. But if you're looking for me for help, you won't see me there. You won't see me behind you because I already bailed, and it's your job to just basically get yourself out of the cockpit and away from the plane. Try to push yourself away from the plane, and then once you're out, it's up to you to just use a chute to just fall and try not to break your legs falling, getting to the ground. And that was my instructions for that. But other than that, that woke me up right there. I was paying much more attention, and um, but but other than that, we were up in the air. Thankfully, there was no situation where I had to bail. He was still there behind me, and there was somewhat and G forces. Boy, there were G forces. Usually, there's like 10 Gs. We saw you saw in the movie Maverick, where Tom Cruise pulled 10 Gs. That was nothing. I felt about 1 to 3 Gs when Ian or Tectonic did those maneuvers up in the air, and my butt was in there. You heard the video of me when it came to rolling or doing all those stunt work. That was just a basic package. When it comes to more dynamic maneuvers, if I ever go again, it'll be going to the point where it'll be straight up in the air and twisting and turning and then diving down. Um, as much as that the experience that I had was tame compared to what I could have done if I had actually gotten another a much more extensive package that had me doing a lot more maneuvers that where I'd be going straight up in the air and then twisting and turning and then diving down. But I had the basic package, which I thoroughly enjoyed. But I didn't want to go overboard for my first experience. So the individual named Shooter understood that and was very accommodating when it came to just not pushing me to get that a more extensive package of more maneuvers and death-defying maneuvers. Just a basic package, but I highly recommend for those who want to experience that type of adrenaline rush of just going in the air in a stunt plane and having someone like uh, Tectonic or Ian just basically in your ear and just telling you just how it's basically an enjoyable experience, and but having that conversation beforehand of him saying that if the plane ever gets into a not working right and we have to bail you, you have to go on your own because I'll be out of the plane before you. So yeah, that was just an experience. So that was basically my Thursday, and after that I went uh, um, to the Marvel Museum. It was pretty good. Didn't spend too much time there, about 30 minutes or so, and maybe a little tour, and then I went home. Not went home. Like I said, went to the back to my hotel room, just chill out for a bit, take a nap, probably take a shower as well, and then I went to a Japanese steakhouse, hibachi, just to a very enjoyable experience, and just to watch the chef, the not Benihana chef, but the chef, the hibachi chef, just do his thing, and he was incredible, very entertaining, and I gave him a nice tip, and then afterwards, I actually went to go see. Afterwards, after the Japanese steakhouse, Hibachi Steakhouse, I wanted to see Oppenheimer, and that was a good movie. Nice twist at the end when it comes to who the true villain was, in a sense, and Killian Murphy did a good job, and how the portrayed the real Oppenheimer, the father of the atomic bomb, that basically helped, or nuclear bomb, basically obliterated Nagasaki and Hiroshima to help win the war against the Japanese. So very interesting movie, and it was either that or Barbie or the Retribution. But I ended up picking Oppenheimer because it was 8:45, and by the time I left the Hibachi Steakhouse, it was about 8 o'clock, 8:30. So I went to Oppenheimer, and it was a pretty good movie. I'm glad I chose it, and that pretty much capped my Thursday night. So for the following Friday, I just pretty much relaxed at the pool, listened to the songs, just chilled by poolside, took a dip, couple dips, and then headed back to the room to take a shower. And afterwards, I got eat some lunch at the Excalibur buffet, and then went back to my suite and took a nap. In order for me to prepare for the Excalibur Tournament of Kings and Jabberwockies, and both shows were awesome. And I didn't know what to expect from Tournament of Kings, but I was the funny part is I was part of the I was seated in the France area, and I was actually rooting for the King of I think the King of France, who was and we in my section we just had fun just rooting for the King of France, even though it was France. So um, and it was full of entertainment when it comes to how um, they thoroughly entertained all of us through their fighting skills. Um, and they go all out. They don't pull punches at the say uh, when it comes to just like fighting scenes. The fighting, they don't like pull a punch. They actually just go all out and try to kill each other, but in a safe way. But yeah, after show was over, before that, for some reason I thought we were all gonna get helmets or Viking helmets to take home as a souvenir. I don't know why I thought that. I know I remember seeing on some YouTube videos that they do provide or give to guests the Viking helmet, the horn helmets. But I was a little disappointed. But unless they had that one time they were giving out helmets. But even though I was disappointed, I thoroughly enjoyed watching the show. Um, all the cast of characters did an excellent job. And after that, I went back to my suite in order to just rest up and watch some TV, and then head to the Jabberwocky show. And was one of the best shows I've seen live and in person. Crossed that off a bucket list, and I was able to do a meet and greet afterwards. Um, and it's only two of them. I don't know who they were. I know it may be different than the different individuals than the actual the original uh, team of Jabberwocky's team, because it's kind of like when you retire and they replace you, or someone steps up and becomes the Jabberwocky. Because I learned that when it comes to being a Jabberwocky performer, they're not the original dancers, so they teach other individuals to be part of the Jabberwocky team. So I was able to just, even though I knew that ahead of time, the people behind it are not important. It's the Jabberwocky persona, the mask that makes it who the Jabberwockies are. That I've been a big fan since they were part of America's Got Talent, and then they catapulted their rise to fame from in America's Best Dance Crew, where they ended up beating Status Quo, and that their performance that in the finale. I voted like a madman for them, and then I think it was Rainin who did the spin on his head. I wasn't fully expecting that to happen, for the to end the show, the timeless show in Vegas, their residency there, and just having someone, or at least maybe Rainin, who had to spin on his head to end the show, but that's not how it ended. But um, I thoroughly enjoyed it, and I was doing the meet and greet, and I was able to take pictures with two of the Jabberwockies, and just mention to them that it was my birthday and spending it with you guys, and they were hopefully touched. They gave me a fist tap, and I was on my way, and that was pretty much my night. And I was able to go to bed a little bit jazzed, but excited for what I was able to experience all throughout my week there, and then I was able to sleep. I was able, unfortunately, even though I wasn't able to sleep, I still was able to nod off for about a couple hours until my flight at 3 o'clock. So, but on my way from Charlotte to Pensacola, oh no, Pensacola, yeah, Charlotte to Pensacola, I did see Jay Uso because I think I saw Jay Uso because when it was either him or Jimmy Uso, and then when I passed him in first class, it was one of the Usos because I saw the tattoos and the gold teeth. So he was in the first class. I was way in the back, and and I was waiting. I was thinking about how I was able to get a photo with him, and unfortunately, by the time I got into the terminal and try to get a photo with Jay Uso, or it was either Jay or Jimmy, because I know Jimmy's a little hefty, and Jimmy's a little thinner, so I think it was Jay, but I know as a wrestling fan, I failed in getting that picture with Jimmy or Jay. It's either one of them, but yeah, it was one of the Usos. I know that for sure. And but yeah, by the time I was able to get in the terminal, he was gone. So maybe someone had got a picture with one of the Usos as they left the plane. But all in all, that was my week of in Vegas, and I was able to keep all my organs intact, and avoid any professional workers from taking advantage of me. And well, I don't know, but I did have an experience, odd one, where a female. I was eating late at night at in the hotel, Robert Irvine's restaurant in Tropicana, and I swear one of the lady was looking at me and staring at me, and I was eating. I was trying to avoid eye contact because it is Vegas after all, so you don't know if there's either a professional or an escort or whatever. And I was trying not to make eye contact because if I did, she'd try to proposition or something. I don't know, but I did my best I can to avoid that altogether. Practically all throughout my week, I tried to avoid just avoid anything that could get me in trouble. It's like I didn't want to get arrested or anything like that. I know it's illegal in Vegas, but I didn't want to have that. I just wanted to have fun and a very just memorable way. I crossed things off on my bucket list, being in a stunt plane, being in like an off-road experience, going on the Slotzilla. That my 46th birthday was truly memorable, and maybe hopefully my next trip, maybe to Singapore and seeing my cousin in Singapore will possibly be the next one. That or Japan, or who knows, or San Diego. But that's a possibility. So that's what I remember most. Sharing with you what happened in Vegas. Vegas 2023 in August. And I know that usually the what happens in Vegas stays in Vegas, but I just want to share with you, even though I most of it's posted on my Facebook. But yeah, hope you enjoyed my what I what I shared with you, my overall experience. Hope I wasn't long winded or boring about it. But in any case, there you go.